Hey guys, welcome to Red's Projects. In this episode, we're going to have a look at my new project car. This old thing's been in our family for 8-10 years, something like that. My grandpa originally had it to start with. It was the last car he had before he passed away. And then it had been passed around aunties and uncles and cousins for a little while. Ended up at my cousin's property, and time had come to move it on. So I purchased it with the intention of making it into a fast street car. So what I'm going to do is show you all the footage leading up to this point, because I'm on the hoist now. I'm about to lift it up and have a good look over it, work out what it needs for roadworthy. So I'm going to show you a few clips leading up to this point, and then we'll talk about it more. Okay, let me give you a quick rundown on the car. It's a Ford 1995 model XG Ute, and it is the Outback model. Has a bunch of things different from the normal one. It's got like alloy bull bar, it's got a lifted suspension, it's got an LSD, it's got, what else? A bunch of like mud flaps and stuff underneath for protection. 2 fuel tanks, and just a bunch of other things that make it more capable off-road and for outback driving, hence the name. Most of that stuff I'm going to throw in the bin, so it doesn't mean much to me, but it is what it is. Not my first choice, but I'll work with it. Motor is one of these terrible single cam motors that were around before the Barrow came around. This one's got a blown head gasket or a cracked head, so I have to fix that before I get it registered. Currently doesn't run on petrol. It runs on gas, so I think I'm just going to leave it on gas and get it registered on gas. Once it's registered, this motor's coming out anyway, so if I can try and get registered on gas, if not, the fuel system needs a lot of work to work. Like the fuel tanks are rusted. I put a new fuel pump in one of them and it still doesn't flow up to the injectors. All the lines are all blocked. So I'm assuming the lines are blocked, the injectors are probably blocked and need a clean or replace. So there's a bit of work to make it run on petrol. So I'm thinking I'm just going to leave it on gas for now. All right, that really does it for under the engine bay. Let's lift it up and have a look underneath, and then I'll go through what I plan to do with this car. All right, let's have a look underneath. First thing you notice, got this huge guard stone tray thing underneath with a mud flap on the end of it. So that'll come off. Got these crazy mud flap things over this side and over here as well. That'll come off. I think there's more, yeah, more mud flaps back here. There we got a Borg Warner diff with an LSD in it. What is it? 3:4:5 ratio, which may or may not work for me. But it's leaf, which is good. I wanted something with leaf springs. So I can either put coilovers in the front or just get some springs that are fairly low, that sag a lot, and just use some like 90-10 shocks to allow it to come up a long way. Got plenty of leaks as well, of course. There's a lot there. Not sure where that's from. Okay, so the goal for this car, I want it to be a street registered street car that will drive to the drag strip, run a 1099 or quicker pass down the quarter mile, and I want it to cost $10,999 or less. So I want a 10-second street car for 10 grand. The reason I want to do this is because of the Falcon. That's already a 10-second street car, but that car owes me like over 30 grand. Like from the original purchase cost, building an engine, building an auto, all the suspension shit I've had to replace in it, all the turbo stuff. Like there's plenty of things I've purchased twice. Like I've had 3 different intercoolers on the car, or I've had turbos, I've had fuel pumps, I've had all sorts of stuff, and it all adds up. And because it's so expensive, it takes a long time. You have to save up. I got to buy this fuel pump. I got to save up a couple of weeks. Got to buy this. I've got to save up a couple of weeks. Okay, so another reason I went with this car and this engine combo I'm going to get to shortly is that the fast cars that I've had in my life have been turbo, been 6-cylinder, and been injected. So this car is going to be a V8, which I'll show you shortly. It's going to be carbied, and I'm going to be spraying it with nitrous. So I'm doing something I haven't done before because I think it's interesting and I want to learn more. And I did have nitrous on my ute for a brief period of time and I loved it. It was great. It was just not the ideal engine to put nitrous onto. Okay, enough talking shit. Let's go have a look at the motor and auto I plan to put in this thing. Okay, so the motor I'm going to put in the ute is, of course, an LS. This is dead standard LS1. A few years ago, I freshened this up, put new bearings, new gaskets, new rings. I just gapped the rings looser so I can spray it. Other than that, is dead standard. I will probably put cam and valve springs in it at some point, but that's going to stay standard for the moment. Behind that, it's going to be a power glide. This is a 6-cylinder power glide I bought off a guy at work. This is going to need some work. It's going to need like the V8 planetary gears, a valve body, a good freshen up and some extra clutches and stuff. So this is going to be probably the most expensive part of this whole build. Okay, let's talk about the nitrous that's going to go on top of this motor. I am going to use this double cheater plate. So it's a 2-stage double cheater plate, 2 nitrous, 2 fuel fittings, 4 bars. It is basically just 2 of these normal cheater plates stacked on top of each other. So this is capable of a 250 shot, So this is double. This is capable of 500 shot with the right solenoids. The solenoids I have, I've got cheetah ones for nitrous and fuel. They're capable of a 250 shot. And then I've got some power shot solenoids which are capable of 150 or 175 shot, I believe. So realistically, I'm capable of 400-ish with this plate. I probably won't spray that much. I don't think that thing will live. The plan will be to leave on one stage off the trans brake, most likely the little solenoids, say leave on 100 shot, and then I've got a digiset timer. So after a certain amount of time, the second stage will come on, and that might be bigger. It might just be another 100 shot on top. I don't know. But leave on some, then add more, you know, after a second or something like that. That's the plan anyway. Okay, so I think I've covered everything. I'm really excited for this project. I've had that motor sitting around for a while now, and I've been collecting nitrous bits for ages. And I've just been waiting for a car to put all this stuff into and have fun with. So this wasn't my first choice for a car. I was looking at Navaras, Rodeos, Commodores, just other bits and pieces, but this came up for the right price. It's been in the family. I looked into it a bit more, and it's actually a really good platform for what I want to do. The LS motor goes in pretty easily. You can buy mounts off the shelf. It's got a fairly big engine bay. It's leaf spring. It's got good front suspension that will work well on the drag strip, and it's relatively light. So it ended up working out to being a good car for what I wanted to do. So first thing I have to do is get it registered. Now, because of the age, it is September 1995, and I want to put this onto club registration, which the car has to be 25 years or more. So I have to wait till September, which is 2 or 3 months away, before I can register it. So I can't really do anything fun and interesting to it yet. So I'm just going to be, I've got to do the head gasket for sure, and just change some ball joints and get it up to roadworthy standard so I can get it registered, and then all the fun will begin. So the first thing I want to do, which will be probably next episode, is I want to weigh the car as it is. So with the canopy, with the bull bar, with everything, I want to see how heavy it is, because I'm going to sell the canopy, that's going. I'm going to be changing wheels and bits and pieces. So before I do anything, I want to get, like, worst case scenario, how much this thing weighs, because bits and pieces are going off it, but once it's registered, I'm going to strip as much weight as I can out of the car. So it'd be good to get a good before and after, how heavy it is now and how light it'll be when I'm eventually racing it. So that will be next episode. Like I said, there's a couple months until I can register it, so updates are going to be slow to start with, but once it's registered, fun things are going to happen. So that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.